All right, we're going to get started at the top. Oh, it is time. So we're going to start right now. I like to start on time. Okay, this is being recorded. It is fantastic. Welcome, everybody. I'm Stuart. This is not going to go an hour. It may not go a half hour. It may not go a minute and a half. No, it will. Welcome to our 2019 planning meeting. I have a few slides to show. Before I do, I want to make a recommendation to you. Please feel free to let your fingers do the talking and go ahead and type in there. I will very much encourage and welcome any of your comments and thoughts as we talk here. Also, if you are brave, if you are courageous, I am happy to turn on your microphone and even your camera if you've got a webcam. So all you need to do is just type in and tell me that you'd like me to do it, or do a webcam or a mic request. I cannot turn it on at my whim. So have no fear. I cannot turn on your camera or mic to see or hear you unless you want me to. You have to okay it at your end. But I think that would be cool if we were to make it interactive, don't you? We'd love to hear your voice and or see your handsome faces this morning. All right, let me just see here. We got a whole bunch of folks still coming in. This is great. I appreciate that very much. So let's start. I want to make sure you've read the sort of the mission statement there, a source of inspiration and transportation in our community. With your permission, I think I want to stick with that, and I actually can put like a little number 2, you know, like a squared above the community, because I'm referencing our community of coaches, and we certainly have a wide variety of coaches who have already joined or official members, and we have countless others who I've met, I've heard about, I've read about. In our community, they may be independent, they may work for companies, or they may be internal coaches for companies. So I believe the opportunity for growth of our organization is great, but that's not the focus of this year, because it's now time to get some stuff done. It's now time to do stuff if you want to do stuff. I hope you do. I know that we all have businesses to run. I know we all have private lives as well. So it's just strictly volunteer, this whole thing, but I'm excited. I think there's good stuff to do. Hey, Tess is in the house too. Welcome, Tess. I just met you. Thank you, John, for introducing me to Tess, and John for being such a connector as well to so many new friends that I've made. Quick recap, we did launch the website. You all know that. We have some folks who have joined, coaches who have actually joined, who have not completed their profiles just yet. So I want to encourage you, if you're one of them and you need help creating your profile page, you can call on me. Perhaps I don't want to offer this unless you're comfortable doing it. If we have other professional business coaches, I bet you they would want to help too. It would be my pleasure to help. Something I have learned, even as a business coach myself, one of the hardest things to do if we're in business for ourselves, and if we're not, if we're part of a team, but we still need to create sort of a profile page, a hot sheet, a one page. It's the hardest thing in the world to do, because we want to tell the world all the things we do, and we end up writing a novel too much and cutting out the fat and focusing on, you know, the real important stuff, the what's in it for me. So the person who's reading your profile says, that's why I need you. That's why I want to get to know you. That's why I'm going to hire you. That's the hardest thing in the world, is to vet it down, to filter it down so it becomes potent and on point. So I'm offering myself, and maybe other business coaches would offer that help too. If you haven't gotten your profile done, clearly happy to help. Gina says here, it's typical of membership websites. Indeed, but we can help. And yes, I agree with you, Gina. Gina and I are talking here. I agree, Gina. So that's something that I'm happy to help. I bet you Gina would help out too. And it's a great practice to get it done for this website, but bring it home. Use it on your own webpage, your own Facebook group, whatever it is you use to promote. Here's a beautiful picture of a whole bunch of good-looking people at our meeting that we had earlier this year at Owen Brennan. It was really great, and this was a happy hour, and everyone had "Hello, my name is" stickers on. It was really a lot of fun, and the food was great. We also had one in May. I want to express my thanks on behalf of our membership, on behalf of Memphis Coaches Network, to Brad at F&H Solutions Group. We actually did it at your headquarters, in your building, in your facility. Now, maybe it was the date. I don't know. Maybe it was the food. Maybe because it wasn't at Alchemy or Owen Brennan, we did not have a great turnout. However, the people like Lynn, I got to meet you, Lynn. The people who showed up made a difference. It was great to talk. It was great to connect. And I'm very, very grateful. And we can do more things like this. So we save the organization money by meeting at a place, because Brad and his team didn't charge us anything. We may have left just a little bit of a mess. I hope not, but I'm grateful to you and F&H Solutions that we had our meeting there. We also did something very cool for the MILE organization. Are you familiar with it? Memphis Institute for Leadership Education. This is my third year as a mentor there. We mentor University of Memphis students who are selected, who apply to join this organization. Every student is matched up with a local community mentor from all walks of life. And I volunteered that Memphis Coaches Network would provide 4 speakers. It was almost like a CoachX, if you will, a play on TEDx. And I am so grateful for Allison, Emerald, Louisa, and Karen. Karen, you're in the house here for doing this, and they made up a beautiful little profile sheet featuring all 4 of our speakers. And it went over very, very, very well. It was great fun. It was so awesomely fun for me to get to see fellow coaches come up and speak for 10 minutes. That's what we did. Every speaker had 10 minutes and delivered your own message. And I did not coordinate the message. All I said was come and tell a story. Give us an anecdote, right? Students, whether they're students or other professional businesses in the house, this First Tennessee Bank that participates, this International Paper, a whole load of companies. Tell us a story and knock it out of the park. Give us a message. What can we learn from the story, the anecdote, to improve our lives, to improve our businesses, whatever it is? And everybody just knocked it out of the park. I'm so pleased. We even had Emerald travel all the way here from a distant place just to be with us and speak. And many families came and joined too. And we had some laughs, and I believe it was very impactful. So I especially want to thank our 4. Unfortunately, Allison had already left the building. We didn't get her in this beautiful picture, but there you go. Friends, this is the kind of stuff we can do. Now, you may not be a public speaker. That's fine. Or maybe you want to be a public speaker. Or maybe you'd want to do things like that. This is on the list of things that I think we can do. We can offer ourselves, offer our services. Okay, now before I read this list of ideas, of stuff that I believe we can do in 2019, I just want to see if there's any other comments or any other questions. Nope, nothing's posted. If you've just joined us, if you'd like me to turn your microphone on, your camera on, please go ahead and do so. And by the way, this is the platform I use. It's GoToWebinar. And you can toggle. You can make me small, you can make this big, or vice versa. It's up to you. We only have a handful of slides here. So let me just run through this. And my mission here is just to stimulate ideas and conversation, because I really want 2019 to really be our year. And I take full responsibility, friends, for not being as consistently active as I had intended especially the second half of 2018. I was blessed with a great amount of business that came in, and my daughter got married in September. Thank you, thank you. And life gets in the way, and it's going to happen to you. It happens to all of us. That's why, friends, I don't want the Memphis Coaches Network to be a time suck. I want it to be an opportunity, right? Opportunistic, and be something that is part of your business plan. It's part of your plan. It's not something that you dread participating, you dread showing up for. Oh, I have another meeting. No, it's something that you want to be a part of in your capacity, how it fits into your life. I got a couple of emails at the last second, Allison and a Bill, who intended to be here, and stuff came up. I get it. That's okay. This is what happens. That's all right. So let me start off here, and I want to thank Laura, my friend Laura per se, for sending this idea. Keyword collaboration. Man, friends, now we're talking about our only group, our community of coaches. How can we collaborate? Package services. Right after this meeting, I have a meeting with Laura at the Hub, at a coffee place. John, you know what I'm talking about. And we're going to talk about an interesting collaborative opportunity we're going to create together, a business venture, if you will, but pooling my talents and her talents. So, friends, is there anything I can collaborate with you on, or with each other? Doesn't have to be me, with each other. What can you do together with 2 or 3 or 4 or one other professional coach in our community that can be a new business venture, that can generate a new revenue stream for you, that can enable you to launch a component of your career, of your business that you've always wanted to do? Great word, Laura. I want to thank you for sending in that word. Collaboration, the opportunities here. That's why I put it as the first one. And I'm going to come back and look at if you guys have any comments or questions here. Now, business meetings, friends, I need to know, does this work for you to have a monthly meeting virtually like this? If you can show up, show up. If you can't, watch the replay. I'm recording it. Or should we have an in-person meeting? And it doesn't have to be monthly. It can be every month. It can be quarterly. But also, when I first put out a survey, the majority of our coaches wanted the social opportunity, these happy hours. And we didn't have a fourth quarter social. I couldn't pull it together. I'm sorry. Let's have a first quarter one. Shall we? Where do you want to do it? I don't want to make all the decisions here. We can go back to alchemy. We have a lot of folks, especially Bill and Patricia, who know the folks there. Let's support businesses that support us too, and have a location that's ideal. Gina, I know that you're out, more east, and we have a lot of folks who are west. Well, what can we switch around destinations? Locations, so that it's convenient. And if you can come, you come. If you can't, you can't. But let's get another social on the books. Give me your input. Where? When? Do you like the happy hour thing? 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 3 to 4. You want to do a luncheon happy hour. Not the best idea to drink in the middle of a day, but hey, listen, it's a social event. We're all mature adults here. How can we have a business coaching session? Gina, you had a great idea of getting together, and we have our own. And Gina, I don't want to put these words, into your mouth, but we have a think tank. We help each other grow our businesses. That's my specialty too. Gina, that's your specialty too. John, that's your specialty too. Each of us has a specialty. Can we help each other? And in return, I have to believe we'll get back as well. When we give, we get. Do you agree? Do you believe in that principle? I don't think you'd be here with us right now if you didn't. Okay? Could we be a mentor for each other? Or perhaps barter our services? There is a need I have personally and professionally, and there's another coach out there, a professional, Dr. Mark, Dr. Mark Miller. I think I need your services, good sir. Maybe we can barter. And if not, it's fee basis. I'm just saying the opportunities are vast. Let's do it. Now, we need to also have tight dialogue. Now, I want to thank Bill Birch, because Bill has been posting in our Facebook group. I know some of you say you don't do Facebook. I get that. So, is there another a single source? It could be emailing each other. Okay, it could be in the Facebook community, or should we set up another chat group? Let me know. Let me know where it's most convenient so we have a dialogue. Brad, you posted some good stuff also, but then it kind of got quiet. It died down. You know, I believe these things grow exponentially. The more we post, the more we post, the more we talk, the more we share ideas about what we're doing in the community. Hey, come join me. I'm doing here. Hey, I'm doing this. Anybody want to come see me? I'll give you a ticket. Hey, listen, as a speaker, whenever I'm doing a local gig, I try to reach out to my friends. Hey, let me ask my client if it's okay. You come stand in the back. Come see me. I want to share what I do. If you're doing something, invite me. I want to come see you in action. Can I do that? I would love to do that. So what more can we do on a networking basis as a Memphis area community of professional business coaches, socially and professionally? What can we do? So before I go to the next slide, I want to see if we have anybody who has typed in any. Laura's in the house. All right, Laura's here. Thank you, Laura. I will see you shortly. I think we're meeting at the hub. Yes. And I'm excited. And friends, I'm excited that once Laura and I hone in on this, we're going to tell you guys and gals about it. Maybe you can do something like this too. I think the opportunity is vast, is infinite. Gina said, I'm not just way east. Okay, we'll come up with something for happy hour. Okay, that's good. I appreciate it. Because I know we can switch around locations. It doesn't have to be the same spot every time. Gina says yes to mastermind group. I love the name mastermind. Don't you? Could you imagine that Memphis Coaches Network, we have it could be a once a year, it could be a quarterly, maybe that's our business meeting. It's a mastermind group. And maybe Gina, you want to take this over, or maybe for each mastermind group, we have a different leader, a different facilitator each session. It gives us each practice to do this. And we can pick the topic and the subject that's near and dear to our hearts, our passion, our subject. And we can write about it. We can blog about it. We can share about it. And maybe we do invite people from the community. I don't know what it looks like. Gina says we can have a Google group. It's one email address that goes out to everyone that wants to join. What do you think, everybody? You want to do a Google group, because then you don't have to have a Facebook account, right? Everybody could do it. And I think, Gina, you had mentioned this once before, and I like it. We can do it. Gina, I may need your help to set it up because, hey, listen, I know as much as I know. There's a lot I need to learn, and that's why we can help each other. Gina says another option is a mobile app like Slack. Never heard of it, but an opportunity. Hey, John. John says, can you turn on my phone? Yes, John, hang on just a second here. Karen says she loves it. Thank you, Karen. Loves the idea of a Google group. Terrific. Gina says, good idea. And this is, all right. So, John, here we go. I'm going to attempt to turn your phone on.
Hey, what I was wondering is, can you put together a roster and have that sent out to everybody? I know that there's the website, but I know there's people that aren't quite on it. And I thought that it would be helpful if we knew who everybody was that was in this community, first of all. Second, and I wanted to bring this up on this call, is that talking about networking, February, the first week of February is International Networking Week. And I've been approached by a combination of people led by Jana Cardona, who leads BNI. There's also the ladies from eWomen Network and the Greater Memphis Chamber of Commerce, and I are all sponsoring a massive networking event at the Botanic Gardens on February 4th. And I want everybody to know about that. I'll extend all the details. I'm not asking for this group to be a co-sponsor, but I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to do it. There's going to be hundreds we're looking at least 100, possibly up to 300 different business owners and business professionals that are probably going to show up. NABO is not an official sponsor, but they're also providing their member list. And there's a couple other networking groups that are going to allow us to distribute to their member lists. So this is a great opportunity for those of us that are in the business coaching and life coaching arena to meet a ton of people.
It is. I love it. And I appreciate you allowing me to turn your mic on so you can share. And that's an excellent event that we need to be aware of, and maybe we can do something either individually or just as an organization, John.
Yes, I agree. I think it'd be a great place to show up.
Okay.
And if we're interested in actually having a table to sponsor, we can have that conversation offline, but it's going to be cheap. I mean, to pull this together, it's going to cost $20 to go. So there's no real extensive sponsorship expense. So if you want to talk about that offline, we can do that and then bring it back to the group. But I just want to at least make sure everybody's aware of it, so that they can go.
That's beautiful,
I'll send out details.
Okay, and then I'll be in touch with you. We'll get details. We'll put it out. I can put it out in an email. And to your first point, yes, it's like why didn't I think of this? A roster. It's one thing we have the website, but nobody knows who has joined, but who has not posted their profile yet. We wouldn't know that. So I will get a roster done. And Karen typed in here that she loves the February event. So that's great. We already have interest and traction. And Karen said, hopefully we can all have Memphis Coaches Network name tags too. So right off the bat here, I think it's a great idea, John. I appreciate this.
Very good.
Now, if you don't mind keeping your mic on for just a second, because I'm going to go to the next slide, and it just so happens, what a coincidence, that the first thing here, and this friends has to do with speaking at events, similar to what we did for the Mile program. John, do you mind just giving a little recap of the idea? Now, John owns a local Vistage chapter unit. Would you, rather than me take the words out of your mouth, would you just mind sharing with everybody what you shared with me and an idea that you had for your meetings?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I lead Vistage peer groups, which are mastermind groups specifically focused for business owners and business leaders. So I bring business owners and leaders together on a monthly basis to talk about their issues, challenges, opportunities. We work together as a group. We meet for half a day. These aren't 1-hour meetings where we just topically mention things. We actually do deep dive exercises. And depending upon which group, I bring in expert speakers on a regular basis. Monthly for one group, quarterly for another group. I have openings in 2019 for anybody. I've got 2 openings in 2019. If anybody has a workshop or some sort of a program that they want to deliver to the business community, whether it's business owners or key leaders in businesses that are not owners, we're talking about senior level managers, C-level, senior VP, higher level managers. If that's your audience and you've got a presentation or some sort of a dog and pony show you want to practice on, if you're willing to do it pro bono, we'll feed you, but you just come to the meeting and do your presentation and you've got a captive audience. And then of course, if there's any opportunities that fall out of that, those are yours commission free. The programs are 2.5 to 4 hours. So you have if you can do your program, it's a workshop. They have to be able to walk out of there with something they can put to use immediately. This is not just purely educational, and it's not just training. It has to be in a coaching, developmental, practical use capacity. And if that's something you guys want to do, I've got places for that, and I open that to this group.
Good stuff, John. It's really good.
Right now,
go ahead.
I was going to say my openings right now are July and September of 2019. So you've got plenty of time to work this out. And it would be the second Thursday in each of those respective months. So the second Thursday of July, second Thursday in September.
Okay. Well, I mean, what I love about this is just like you said, it gives us excellent exposure. Whoever wants to do this should contact you. And if it's a good fit, it gives the coach excellent exposure to senior, top level executives in the community. So it's not for so many reasons. It's a great opportunity because it's just, as I like to say, we're putting ourselves in opportunity's way. You know what? There's no downside to this. So
Yeah.
I
And
appreciate
if
that.
and
Go
if you
ahead.
are interested, let me know soon so you can come and see some of the speakers that I have, so you know what the caliber and the style and the culture and the environment is that you're going to walk into.
Indeed, right. So you're set. You're set for success. Laura posted here to please ask John to send more information into the info to the group. So indeed, I will do this. So John, I'll connect with you offline. I'll get more information and I'll put it out to everybody in an email, and then they can
Very
reach
good.
out to you and hopefully you have an abundance of responses and certainly fill those two slots and see what else comes of it.
Very good. Thank you, Stuart.
Okay, John. Yeah, I'm gonna put your phone back on mute, okay?
Very good.
All right, sir. And I'll see you on Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow.
You will. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you. Thank you, John. And Bob's in the house. Hey, Bob, welcome. It's so cool seeing so many names, familiar names here. So there's one thing right there. Also, I know I'm on some of your email lists, friends. For instance, I get your uh, um, uh, via email, I get your publication. Friends, if you're publishing articles, would you send them to me? At this point, I'll do it until we have other volunteers because we can publish them on the Memphis Coaches Network blog. I have a space reserved for a blog. You can't see it because I haven't published the page because we have no posts yet. But I'm happy to repurpose it. I'm happy to list the blogs there so we have content on the website. And maybe you've always wanted to write a blog or an occasional letter or one paragraph, whatever it is, no pressure situation. Maybe this can be the incentive, the catalyst, the spark to convince you, hey, I'll start writing something now. And we can help put it out there, right? Give it some more eyeballs because you know how it works on the web these days in terms of building an audience and following and branding. It's about content, interesting content. With that too, we can do podcasts. I do this stuff all day long, and I'm happy to be a facilitator and do an interview, have a conversation, 10 minutes, 15 minutes about a subject near and dear to your heart. And we can have our own channel, our own podcast channel. If enough of you want to do it, let's do it. Volunteering, let me know if friends, if there are volunteers are needed, coaches are needed. Maybe we can go into a school, an elementary school, a college, some kind of a community. Could be adults, could be kids, whatever. And if you need volunteers, maybe some of us can help, or maybe you want to come up with an event where we can volunteer our services to give back to the community. That's important. Important. Would you like to have a coaching event? I need to know this. I'm not going to spin my wheels if you all don't want it, and that's okay. Should we have an annual coaching conference I don't know what it looks like, friends, but I just feel it. I see it that we can do something, and those of us who want to play a role can do it. And in fact, we can even have sponsors. In the business plan for Memphis Coaches Network, I see that I definitely have the word sponsor in there, that we can get corporate sponsors to help support and promote our efforts. And at the end of the day, I believe, and I hope you believe, we can have real impact in our community. We could generate interest and build coaching as a viable solution in our town. So we build business for each other. We grow coaching as a category. And we make real impact in the community. So I just want to see if we have any other comments. Anybody else want to add? Bob says, thanks for doing this, Stuart. Bob, it is my pleasure. It is good to see you again. We saw each other yesterday. Gina said it could be a great idea, a coaching event. Yeah, a coaching conference. I agree. And by the way, some of us enjoy public speaking. I know I keep talking about this because It's my passion. It's my business. I know Laura, you too. Laura and I already did uh, a local collaborative event, and it was terrific. So whether you out there want to do public speaking or want to get better at it, we can also bring in outside speakers as well to do a sort of a grand, majestic event here in our city. I think that would be cool. Why not? John said, yes, let's do something grand. Grand, something grand. Let's contribute to the renaissance of our community of Memphis. And let's help build our businesses. Let's network so that we grow professionally and we grow socially as well. We make new friends. It's what I've done. Lynn said, hey, Lynn, it's good to have you here. I'm so grateful. I look forward to seeing you again. It's been a while. Maybe with the roster, we could provide a concise list of what we offer to enable collaborative work together. Yes, yes, yes. We don't know what we don't know. But if we have this list of who's out there, who's in our Memphis Coaches Network community, everybody can start reaching out, start making connections, have a meeting over coffee, over lunch, and do some good stuff together, and let us all know what you're doing, because that will be a catalyst for the rest of us, that there are possibilities, there are opportunities. All right, let's see here. The next step's really consistent dialogue. I'm committing to this, but don't wait for me. I'll get you the roster. Talk amongst yourselves, talk amongst each other. Also, it's important for me to identify who the most active participants are. Clearly, if you're here, you're active, you want to be a part of the group. I'm so grateful that you're taking this time to show up today. And I know so many wanted to, but have appointments. They're out there helping people making money, and that's all right. That's the way it's going to go. Let's set goals. Let's set the plans, which means we have to set dates and we have to initiate. We have to do it. We have to take action. And I'm excited to do that and to work with so many of you, because I don't want to do it alone. I can't do it alone. And I know so many of you have already stepped up and are doing, have great ideas. And I believe 2019 could really be our year. So on that note, I'm going to pause here. Class not dismissed yet. Please give me your feedback if you want to type it in now. Let me ask this question. I'll start with our next meeting. Do you want to have a social meeting? Do you want to have a business meeting? Can we do it in January? Let's sort of kick off the year and put pen to paper and get stuff done. Maybe we could do something in January. So can we do a more social business meeting? You give me your thoughts, friends. If I have your attention right now, maybe somebody's got an idea. And if not, then we can use Facebook for now. But I'm going to reach out to Gina and Karen to get a Google group set up. And maybe that's going to be the best place where we can communicate and set up ideas. Laura has suggested a breakfast networking meeting. A breakfast networking meeting. What do you guys and gals think? I'm willing to try everything. I think we've only done in the past, when it was with Bill and Jean, there were either monthly or quarterly lunch meetings and a short presentation too. By the way, let me just say this, that I don't know if any of you go to other meetings in the community. I try to get on as many mailing lists as possible. Like for HSMAI, for instance, there's a couple other marketing groups. There's the Society of Entrepreneurs, right? Society for Entrepreneurs. And John, that's where I kept seeing you going. And I end up, I'll pay, because I'm not a member of most of these organizations, I'll pay my $25. They'll feed me lunch. I'll go hear an interesting speaker. And sometimes I come home with a couple of business cards. I meet somebody. I make a friend. So if you're not doing that, I encourage you to do that. I'm sure you've already thought of it. But, I don't know if there's something our organization could do too. But I don't want to bite off too much more than we can chew. Let's start internally here. Let's get our act together. And maybe we'll do a breakfast meeting in January as as Laura has suggested. We'll dialogue. Tess writes here, can a non-member participate? Hey, Tess, I'm so glad to have met you. I'm so glad you're here today. You know, I believe that we we can come up with. I'm not a rule guy. All right, there's got to be some stuff, of course, that if somebody's paying for membership dues, that there's value there. At the same time, I believe if membership, full membership doesn't make sense for whatever reason right now, that there are ways we can still collaborate and talk to you, and you can be a part of stuff. I want to encourage that. I want to. This cannot be black and white. Okay, so I'm going to say yes, that let's keep talking, let's have dialogue. And I know that you're working on your business and you're fine tuning your business, and you bring some special stuff to the table too, more on the consultancy side versus coaching, right? You do great stuff. You're a part of the community. You're an entrepreneur, solopreneur. So I believe there's dialogue that we can have and stuff we can do. How's that? John says, if it's on Facebook, I won't see it. No problem. I think we're going to get this Google group started. I'm convinced of that. Karen said, I love this format. Great idea to kickstart 2019, so when we have a meeting, we can get right to new ideas. I think we need a social / business meeting. Okay, so Karen, when you say you love this format, are you talking about this virtual type meeting? Is this something you want to see regularly? Maybe we do this monthly, and maybe we and then we get together for social stuff, or perhaps Gina's idea doing a think tank. Maybe we do something like that. Let me know. Laura says here, a breakfast, she said, could be breakfast or just coffee, something early morning. And sometimes early morning is the best thing for us, right? Because we have a full day of appointments, and there's less of a chance it's going to interfere. I personally find that late day, hey, listen, I love, I do my office in my house, but I love it when my wife walks in the door and I unplug. So I know that sometimes we have to give up an early evening to do a happy hour or whatever, and spouses are not invited. I'll do it. I enjoy it. I do it all the time, but maybe the early morning breakfast thing is the solution, or coffee. And by the way, and John knows this, Laura knows this too, and I keep mentioning the hub, but they have a conference center that we can use. It's free. We can make a donation or use it free, and the best coffee in town's right there. It's a great, gorgeous conference facility. It's in East Memphis. So just putting it out there. And Laura just made the same suggestion too. Yes, indeed. So I think maybe we can plan a business meeting there where we can be together. And I think they open early, 7 or 7:30. So great idea. And maybe that's where we're leaning towards our first January meeting. Gina says, networking next week. Tell me what that is. Explain. I know, Gina, you put out a weekly email about networking next week. How can we integrate with that? How can we help you? How can you help us with Memphis Coaches Network of stuff we're doing? Big opportunity there, because I know you have a pretty substantial mailing list. John said maybe we could do that in 2000. You wrote 2010, 2020, 2020, right? And I think you're either referring to the having a big conference, a big annual conference, or starting it in 20, or maybe having a regular event, a lunch event where we have a speaker and we invite outsiders in, and maybe it's both you're referring to. I agree. We can't do everything all at once. Karen said, this is a nice addition to the happy hour events. Good. So these virtual meetings, and Karen says breakfast coffee is a great way to meet as well. Super duper. So we're getting a bunch of thumbs up here. Gina says audio. Oh, networking via audio. Is that what you're saying? We do networking this way too? Okay, hang on, Gina. Let's see if we can get your audio on. All right, Gina, you're unmuted. Can we hear you?
Hey, everybody. Right. This is Gina Davis. So when we were talking about networking before, networking opportunities, one of the things I do is I run it's a free email newsletter of places to network in the greater Memphis area. So if you are looking for networking opportunities, and I definitely would be, well, that email would be definitely be something you can check out. What I would do is, if you're interested, just shoot something to Stuart, and he can pass on the information to me, and the first email I send to you will have an archive edition, and then you make a decision whether you want to join or not.
I think that's great. Yeah. Thank you, Gina, for putting it out there. Did you want to touch on real quick that concept you ran by me about the think tank mastermind type thing?
Well, I mean, it is very similar to what John does, but just the whole idea behind a mastermind is giving people opportunity to sit down with other people that are in the same year range, within like 2 to 6 years of difference. And because John may have a different ideal about that, but just something that you can sit down and you can learn from people and you can help people come up. And just the whole concept of trying to, learn sometimes can be very, very difficult. But when you're in that atmosphere, you're seeing what other people are doing. And sometimes those questions that they're asking that are getting answered, you're like, oh, yes, I needed that information too. So a lot of times you learn a lot from the other people too.
Yep, agreed. It's best practices, sharing best practices. And I love it. I think we can have those sessions sort of on a, whatever it be, on a regular basis, indeed, where we talk about our businesses and we share and we help each other grow. At the end of the day, I don't want to look at each other as competitors. There's more than enough business out there for all of us. We all have our niche. We all have our passions. And of course, if somebody doesn't want to participate, they don't have to. That's the beauty of this. But to get together and share and to stimulate other ideas and solutions, which is the purpose of the mastermind.
Yes.
I think it's great. Thanks, Gina.
No problem.
All right, let's see if I can mute you. Let's see if I can do it. I think I figured it out. Yep, I did. I appreciate it. That was awesome. All right, we're going to come to a close here unless anyone, because I want to respect your time, unless anyone else has another comment, suggestion. This is being recorded. I'm going to upload it, but I'm also going to keep it, I'll put it on YouTube, but I'll keep it unlisted so that it's not made public. It'll only be for Memphis coaches to go back and review and preview. And one more thing, there's my contact information. Reach out, please. If we haven't met yet, let's meet. And the other thing is, if you know of other coaches in the area, I always want to ask you to please spread the word. Tell one person, tell two, tell three, tell four. John, so many of you have spread the word and has given opportunity for all of us to grow our friendship bases and our professional networks as well. Anything else before we go? All right, this is the official 15-second countdown. Class not dismissed yet. 15-second countdown. We're down to 10 seconds. Last chance, last request for comments, questions. We got 5 seconds left. 5 seconds left. All right, that's it. It's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for giving me your time. Thank you. I wish you a happy Monday, a great week. And if we don't speak for the rest of the month, I wish you all the happiest, joyous of holiday season time. I do hope to connect, and let's see if we can get something together for January, perhaps a breakfast or coffee meeting. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.